When I came in as president, we had three what I would consider great bienniums prior to me, and many more. But we embarked on a fairly aggressive, ambitious an agenda for our 2 years. The first meeting that I had, I sat down with my new board and said, okay, what are your hot topics? What is it that you think we need to take a look at in these next 2 years? And after we had come up with 2 pages of bullet points, we narrowed it down to four basic things that we really needed to take a look at. One was the standards, the assessments that was coming down the pike, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. Small schools, mentorship with new teachers and struggling teachers. And finally, some kind of a strategic plan. I really felt like it was necessary for us to not only look at the past and build on the past, but also to build on the future of who we are. So with that, we launched into 2 years of trying to tackle all 4 of those. Some of the things that happened during that time was that were successes for us was we were able to align the regional boards, all 22 regions, with our biennium, which really helped us to have some kind of continuity with all the regional presidents and what they were doing in their regions. At that time, we also approved of an annual state conference. We'd been going state conference every 2 years, so this was the time we thought annual conferences would be best for our membership. Awards were added for outstanding music educator, elementary, middle school, and the higher education levels. These were people that we really felt like we wanted to. Or awards we wanted to give to people who had contributed significantly to music education in the state of Washington. We were able to increase our staffing. Our membership hit a record of over 1,500 members, and it continues to grow even today, which is wonderful. We began a blueprint for mentorship, especially with our collegiate folks, getting them prepared for their first interview, making sure that they knew what they needed to know going into an interview, but certainly following up with them once they were out in the field. WMEA sponsored its first backstage during my biennium, and we also had the inclusion then of the WMEA chapters into our conferences. Other things we had, but I see those as kind of the highlights. I just think that we've got a very bright future. We've got great music ed candidates out there. People coming into the field are more prepared than they've ever been. For our organization, I think we need to continue our advocacy. At the state level, certainly advocacy at the local level is also very, very important. I think the biggest challenge is that WMEA continues to foster support from its membership, and the membership also becoming involved with who WMEA is. To voice your opinions, remember that we are a service organization and act accordingly. We need to be sure and listen to those people that are out there saying, we would like you to take a good look at this or that. No matter how it sounds, we always need to take a good look at it. And I think that one of our ongoing challenges that we need to be sure and we continue to do is to try to partner with our affiliated organizations. And there are many of them, but we all have a common goal. Well, I was Sherlock Holmes. I'm sorry. Boy, that was a senior moment. I dressed up like Sherlock Holmes, and it was music. It's elemental. So it was kind of a play on words for that. That was a lot of fun. What stands out as kind of a fun thing for me was sorry about the papers. Was sitting outside the night that I was elected with Ted Christensen and Mark Lane, and we were having a scotch and a cigar, and it was 2:00 in the morning in February in Yakima. It was colder and all get out, but just having a good chat, that stands out. Had a lot of belly laughs, but I don't want to tarnish my pristine reputation, so sorry, not going to get them here. So.
Very good.
Well, just as I said earlier, I think that the leadership needs to continue to listen to what the membership has to say. I think that is probably the most important thing, and they do. When we get emails, when I got them, and I know that they still do, they are answered and they are looked at and considered. Just whatever anybody has to say is always a consideration. I would also say to the membership, please be involved. Be involved in your regional areas. Be involved at the state level. Suggest or become involved with sessions that are being offered at the conference. We are all together in this. So WMEA is you. Well, during I think that the challenges that we had during mine, the 2006, 2008, OSPI had just initiated their Goal 2, which incorporated the arts into the assessment piece. We were to begin assessing. So it was really a challenge for us to make sure that our membership understood the ELR structure and that they were using the ELRs in the classroom, being very deliberate about using them, and then trying to dispel the fear and trepidation there was surrounding the CBPAs, the classroom-based performance assessments. OSPI had done their homework with the help of a lot of arts educators to put together these assessments, and we took up that challenge to try to help our membership along in that. What was really cool about during my biennium too was that we had kind of a reputation, I think it was said earlier, of being kind of a good old boy band network. And the fact that I had been a high school director, but then had gone into the elementary, I had a real love for the elementary, and we worked real hard to try to dispel that. In fact, we even put a second curriculum officer that was an elementary curriculum officer in to our board structure, which was a very good thing. We had some very dedicated people that worked very hard to make sure that we were inviting, vital for our elementary people, as our small schools and our higher ed people, but primarily our elementary folks.